pursue and were handed over to Atiku following an order from an Illinois court in the United States of America. Amid all this, the ruling All Progressives Congress has criticized Atiku Abubakar, saying he is on a wild goose chase. But we're now joined all the way from the United States of America, Dr. Charles Oludare Marindoti. He is indeed a public affairs analyst. Thank you so much for being here this morning.
Thank you for having me this morning.
All right, great. Let's go straight into this. Being a public affairs analyst and not residing here in Nigeria, but residing over there in the United States, there are indeed claims and counterclaims that Nigerians who are living outside the shores of the country are indeed starting to feel the impact of the questionable issue surrounding the Chicago State University. Can you enlighten us more on that?
I would say yes, truthfully, we are feeling the impact. It's just that the impact that we are feeling is the fact that I think the whole world looks at us funny that we think such a thing as a certificate is an issue. I mean, I think if they are laughing at us is at what the charade that Atiku has made this out to be. Atiku himself is a person who seems to be a confused mind, talking about Nigerians being confused. Atiku is trying to do, the proverbial what they call campaign after election. I thought that was just a saying. I never, would imagine in my wildest dreams that I would see someone try to do that in real life. There is no issue here. This is just a bunch of nothing burger. And the only way I can actually characterize this, which is also something that I feel is shameful, is the degree of comprehension that a lot of the people, both in the media and Articles minions, have. They have their level of comprehension. If that's the position was a comprehension, passage in WAEC, they would, like the president said during the election, the F level, like Atiku Abubakar, because it just shows a basic lack of understanding of the English language. And, they've tried to confuse people a lot. And I can go into the first one that is said, where they asked the registrar, Caleb Westberg, if, and by the way, let me say, Caleb Westberg, I checked his LinkedIn profile. He got into university 2008, graduated 2012. If I had gotten into university and I didn't study medicine, I would have graduated by 2008. That would have been before he got into university. So Caleb Westberg, who is the registrar right now, said that based on their record, they did not produce the INEC certificate, which was a photocopy of a photocopy of a photocopy in 1979, based on their record. And they've tried to say this, they've tried to twist this as its meaning that they didn't produce that certificate. He said in 1979. 1979 is a year. I don't believe I have to explain this. 1979 is a year. There were events that happened in 1979, like the Iran revolution and all of that. So if he says that the Iran revolution did not happen in 1999, does that mean it didn't happen in 1979? I don't understand what they mean. They said they didn't produce that because that was not the design. And now, if that was the only body of information available to us, we can say maybe that caused the confusion. But there's another information that's been always available, which was the fact that there was a man called Abacha, who was a tyrant, who ruled over Nigeria, who tried to assassinate President Tinubu at least twice in Benin Republic while he was on exile and still came back to Benin Republic to keep on organizing to fight him. Twice he tried to assassinate President Tinubu. That man called Abacha also petrol-bombed his house. When the Sheikh Tinubu that you see, that you are looking at right now, if you can calculate it, it probably be around 7 or 6 years old then. The current first lady had to be smuggled out with her infant children back then because they were fighting Abacha. That man destroyed the certificate. So if they are, and INEC is, was formed in 1999. So if they had issued, if the INEC certificate had been the same one that was issued in 1979, then should we not go and ask the president, but you said your certificate was destroyed. How come you have it to show? Maybe you have a photocopy or something, that was the one you submitted. This is just basic understanding of basic use of English. of which English is compulsory in Nigeria. I don't understand how they can't simply understand this basic fact. Then I think there was also an issue about them showing the man the INEC certificate, which, like I said, was a photocopy of a photocopy of a photocopy, right? And it could even be longer than that. And then they asked him that, can you verify that Chicago State University issued this certificate, something within that line. And the guy said in clear terms, this is shameful that people in, I mean, maybe the Atiku mayors are blinded by their ignorance because the president already said they're in college of ignorance. But even people in the media, they asked this guy if he could verify that certificate. And he said, this document is not with us. This document probably was issued based on the design in the 90s, when that guy would probably have been like a 10-year-old or less. So this document is not with us. So we are not qualified. That was what he said. The exact phrase he used, I mean, the exact word he used was qualified to make that assessment. How do you want him to tell you that Chicago University issued a copy that you saw an IDEX stamp on it, that you saw a few other signatures,